I love printing. I love printing. I love it. I love printing. This week we have a friend of mine, Tim Savins from ABCO Inc. in Dallas. How you doing there, Tim?
I'm doing well. It's nice to be here with you today.
Like I usually do, I'm going to give you 30 seconds, a minute, minute and a half. Tell us a little bit about ABCO and what you do, please.
Absolutely. So ABCO is a printing fulfillment company out of Dallas. It's family owned by Leon Kaplan, started in 1956. I'm not part of the family. Leon hired me in 1986, so I'm coming into my 35th year. Started inside sales. Now I'm vice president of sales for major accounts, which means I just have the most business, the biggest book, and I've been there the longest.
And you make the least.
We'll get to that.
Everyone's been experiencing all kinds of downs, very few with the ups, but how are you managing, how the people?
Well, it's been a hell of a journey, to be completely honest. No surprise. That fateful day, I think, was March 13th, when the city of Dallas, a Sunday night, said we are shutting down the city. That morning, I woke up to an email from one of my largest accounts, a big global medical device company, and they said, "Are you open? Because we consider you part of our supply chain essential, and we are open and we're rolling." We scrambled and we figured some things out. Of course, we told them we were open. We pivoted quickly to what customers still needed to do printing, which customers were going to rely on us to be part of their supply chain. And the numbers weren't great. They were pretty bad. I lost some accounts that will never come back because they just changed their business completely or went out of business. Others just were a shell of their former selves. So it took a while. We got our PPE loan, no shame in that. It was a wonderful lifesaver for a company. We proudly did not lay anyone off.
Wow.
Reduced some hourly workers to about 4 days a week instead of 5, but we did not have to lay anybody off. It was a big thing, and I know ABCO made some sacrifices along those lines as well. Summer comes around, I'm starting to see some light, some kind of light, I think. Things started picking up in the fall. Of course, like everyone, we did signage out to wahoo, all kinds of signage, graphics, wall graphics, any kind of graphics. I'm your sign guy. It's amazing how everyone started doing that. But, you know, our small sales team, we were going around passing out free samples to people.
Right.
Eye doctor appointment in August, I'm an ophthalmologist. And I know the family that runs the business, and I left them some floor decals for social distancing. They called me and said, "This is the coolest thing ever. Can we get some more?" You know, I was just dropping off samples.
But that was good for like 3 months, 4 months, and then
and that was it.
Right, because everything's back in from China. The stores have what they need.
Right.
The panic is over.
The other big part I wanted to say is talking to you today via Zoom. To me, that was a big part of how we had to learn how to do business, you know, and how to just interact. It's the new normal, the dog's barking, the postman, you know, whatever.
It's real life.
It's definitely real life, and it's real. You know, we talked about it. Some customers still have not come back to the office. Others are migrating back. Some, I'm told, will never come back. I'm glad I'm not in commercial real estate, to be honest with you. Fast forward to now, our major accounts, those that were essential the whole time, have really turned the corner themselves, and I can see it in my sales that's starting to rise. And I'm not back to where I was, but it's certainly trending in the right direction.
Well, I think everyone has to remember that when you go through something like big, your business does take time to come back, and it could be a fire, it could be a flood. Businesses in the U.S. every year that are in those belts are always living something like that. I think something that we all need to remember, and I guess it's hard at the same time, but something to remember is the whole world is in this together at the same time.
Yep.
Right. Very important, because we will all be back. Who would have thought at the Great Depression that people would be living again and spending and doing when people were jumping out of windows because of everything that was lost?
Exactly.
So I don't think we should lose perspective of what life is. I think this is a hiccup. I've been trying to find the good in COVID because I'm really getting sick and tired of all the negative talk. I had anxiety from all of this, right? There's business anxiety, there's personal anxiety, but I was anxietied out the yin yang, and I stopped watching the news because the news, and it didn't matter what channel, the news was fueling my anxiety. So off of that, so a couple of good things that come out of COVID. People come together as one, right?
Yeah.
People become a little less agitated. They become more agitated in some ways, but less agitated in others. There's a little more patience, I think, when doing work, because work, as important as it is, we all hovered around the family when this started. I think families, in a lot of cases, get to eat dinner as a family when they haven't for years because of all the different people working multiple jobs, the shifts and everything. Families doing, homework with their kids again, all of that good stuff. Yes, I don't want to forget that there's a lot of aggravation, but I don't want to talk about the aggravation. It's enough talking about that. We need to keep spreading the positive word. And then again, it comes back into our businesses, right? So I said this before, if you were in a decent position before COVID, meaning you were in tune with your business, you weren't into your line of credit up to the eyeballs, and you had everything going on, you have a good running chance. If you if you were into your line of credit, if you weren't up on any technology, if you weren't doing web to print, or were just slow to adjust, you're going to have a more difficult time. I've spoken with customers who've taken this time to notice the issues in the business that maybe they didn't notice before that are correcting now. So there are businesses whose sales have dropped drastically, but their loss wasn't as drastic as the drop in sales because they've managed to clean up a few things and do things a little differently. Have you guys, girls, in your company seen any of that?
Well, so we did a few things differently and new. We through our affiliation with IPN, we got into the DTG business. Now, not full scale with huge garment presses, but a nice piece of equipment to do t-shirts, hats, and some masks. It's a separate actually part of our business. We're not marketing it through ABCO. Has a different name. We're still doing some testing on it. We actually got a new piece of equipment to replace the one we got late last year. So that's all new because we were, what else can we do? How else can we augment our current book of business? The other thing,
you just said a key word, augment. Yeah. You got to try some augmented reality. Promote your
that's still out there. I actually said on a marketing presentation from a big paper company a couple of weeks ago, and an old colleague of ours was one of the sponsors. I did not know that until I said, "Wait a second."
Oh, that would be MJ from Reality Blue.
That would be MJ, and one of his things was inside of the box on the presentation, and he and I were, of course, texting the whole time. How's it going? He's a grandfather now, and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so that's still out there. I had some clients asking me about it. I had a new customer out of Houston. What are we doing with augmented reality? Honestly, I think the sample that I showed him was too complicated. They're looking at fundraising and things such as that. Speaking of fundraising, we did start targeting some nonprofits as far as that segment because they've been dramatically hurt on asking and receiving money. So we upped our capabilities just a little bit and understanding on direct mail, knowing that's just a really big segment. The sales team has really put a concerted effort forward on understanding how we can help our clients with direct mail campaigns, with better data. Everyone's doing it. The mail, my mailbox is jammed full every single day. It's actually amazing. In fact, I've got a $100 gift card I just got in the mail from American Express. It's $100 to buy a new men's line of shirts, and I'm going to do it. It's free. So that's really cool because they have my dad.
Hang on. I think you should be calling American Express and see who printed that mailer. And as a card member since whenever, you should be given the opportunity, even if they're going to blow you off.
I would probably need every single IPN member's help to do that.
That's okay. By the way, you could let them know that I'm sure most IPN members are American Express cardholders since
Absolutely.
dot,
Yeah.
dot, dot. Question, what are you guys doing at ABCO to promote ABCO to your customers, if anything?
So we're doing two main things. You said customers. So what we're doing for customers is we are trying to realign, re-strengthen any existing relationship. You know, following everyone on LinkedIn, making comments, trying to post on LinkedIn more often, calling all of our customers, email, text, phone calls, trying to visit them. It's still iffy to see people in person right now. I actually have a nice appointment today at lunch. A guy's going to come to Dallas. He wants some good barbecue, and that's a great joint that we're going to walk to from ABCO today. And he's with the prospect I've been chasing for over a year, and he's finally agreed to come meet us, which is fantastic in person. That's for customers. For new business, we've started doing something kind of cool. We've come up with some cute, whimsical, funny little three-dimensional marketing pieces for outbound gen, straight to prospects. So each rep is picking 3 or 4 new names a week, every 2 weeks. We research the names. We then put some variable data printed cards in the box. We did one based on the Texas bluebonnets, which are in full bloom right now, which are one of the most beautiful things in Texas when you drive down the highways. It's the state flower. And it's all themed around bluebonnets. I got a package of seeds, and we say, let us help you grow your business. And, you know, QR code. And then they scan the code, and they can request the guide to viewing bluebonnets across the entire state of Texas. So we've had some success. Some of the reps have gotten some appointments. The appointment I have today was a result of that kit, actually, that went out. So that's really more for prospects. I'm going to use it to re-engage some older clients when I'm done with these first 3 waves of brand new names. So for existing customers, we're just trying to stay connected. What can I do for you? I'm here for you. Everyone, like you started, we're all going through this together. It's different times. And for new customers, we're trying to help them figure out their business too. You know, we're just trying to, hey, we know you have a current supplier. Let me be backup. Let me do some samples for you. How about some signage?
Well, the truth is, no company should be using one supplier just from a protection point of view of protecting their business. So I like that. I used to say to people too, like, you know, let me be second. First of all, when you're second, nobody's looking to take you out. It's only when you're first do they want to take you out.
Yeah. Now, you know, I'm torn on that, to be honest with you. There's a couple accounts that is taking me 15, 20 years where I'm the single source. And it's tough being number one, because just as you said, I'm constantly fighting.
But so let me tell you though, but if you were a business owner, you would not put all your eggs in one basket.
No.
Just saying. So
yeah, yes, I understand that.
Just a reminder to be smart. Everyone needs to be smart when you have that number one position. Don't get greedy. Don't get comfortable.
Right.
Because it's no good when it goes. How many reps do you have?
So we have 3 full-time reps, and we have another rep that's transitioned more from an admin role into a sales role, and she's doing that now. And you know, it's hard. It's hard to start. We brought back. We lost one of our top reps last fall. She moved on after a beautiful 30-year career, and we miss her knowledge. But we brought back
did she retire or she moved to another company?
She just went a different path in her life.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Because after 30 years, you don't want to lose someone to another company.
No, it was not. She's completely out of this business. We brought back an old friend of mine in Leon's that had worked with us at ABCO over the past year, and she's just hit the ground running.
And are all your reps like in tune with what's going on, and like are they following up with everything they're supposed to? Are they accountable?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, yeah, no, because I wonder now as things are a little tougher. Some people pull up the pants and go stronger, and others need a little bit of assistance because they get caught up in their head about what's what and where do I go and what do I do?
Right.
So it's important. It's for people listening. It's important if you have people in your company that are a little lost, before you give up on them, see if you could help them. Because today, I think today people need help even if they don't know they need help.
Right.
And it can be very, very frustrating with what we do, right? In terms of, you mentioned that you did a little bit of mailing with some lists. Are you doing small targeted mailing, or are you doing like larger mailing to maybe 3,000-4,000 people at a time? Like, what have you found to be the most effective to keep your name alive?
I haven't found what's most effective yet with you. We did a huge email campaign late last year, and it was not good. I think we had a really bad list that we paid for, just bad data, and it wasn't targeted like we were told it was going to be. And we've addressed that with this company and another third party. We're hoping to do that again. We brought everything finally in after many years of not having anything stable into HubSpot as a central location, for all of our leads. We can do mailings out of that as well, especially the email campaigns. Yeah, it was a disaster. It was a waste of money, waste of time, and very frustrating for the sales team. But we're trying to get ready to do another one soon.
Okay, so on that note, the reason I asked that question is everybody's been talking about web to print for a long time. A lot of people were doing web to print before. Some people were doing mailing. Now it's kind of the speed to step it up has gone full force because we're now a year into this mess. And I've been talking to a bunch of print companies and rather surprised that they're not using direct mail, personalized mail, one-to-one. I don't know how many more things I can come up with to make it direct,
Right.
to promote their own business. So what I'm suggesting to every print communication company, because we're not printers anymore, trying to get people to keep thinking that we are print communications. If you were to pick a list, find a list, build a list of 1,000 people, if you were to do a direct mail campaign with multiple pieces over multiple months, perhaps with some omni-channel, landing page setup to gather information, you could then use all the results from your own campaign to go sell customers, because you will have tried it and invested the money, and you'll be able to talk about it knowingly because it's your own. And I'm surprised, right. I'm saddened. I'm actually saddened that we as a print communication industry don't do justice to our own.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm getting hammered weekly by a postcard company. That's what they do. And they're trying to sell me their service or me to use their service to my customer base. And a lot of it's a really cool campaign, and it's from multiple people at the company. I got a piece in the mail from them the other day. I'm telling you, it must have been a $7 piece. The postage alone was $2.80. I saw the postage.
By the way, I learned the other day that if you're doing mailing and you're using new technology, there are rebates from the U.S. Postal Service that could actually cover the cost of your postage.
So we need to look into that. There's no doubt. And the leadership of ABCO, we have been talking about, how also, I told you we're doing these outbound gen pieces, these cool little three-dimensional pieces.
Does Leon get it?
You know what?
By the way, I say that not to be mean or disrespectful.
I know.
I love Leon like a brother, but Leon, if you're listening to this, let them do what they have to and don't say a word.
No, he gets it. He's pushing on. He always wants us on these webinars and with Mindfire and these other companies.
Right.
And so
by the way, David at Mindfire is great.
He is great. We love David, and he's actually really helped tune up everyone's LinkedIn profiles. We did that together and late last year. So yes, no, that's been great. And Leon gets that part of it. There's no doubt about it. We're a smaller company. That's just the fact, with some limited resources, but these lists are there. We have a nice client base, and we'll be doing more when this campaign we're doing now starts to phase down and hopefully produce some good results for us, some new business. We'll shift to some of these other campaigns. And
by the way, summer's coming.
It's always being talked about.
By the way, summer's coming, school's ending.
Yeah.
Perfect time to hire 1 or 2 students to come in and build your own list based on different industries, and let them go to phone calls, LinkedIn research, and within a couple of weeks you could have 500 solid names.
That's a good idea, Warren, because we're not going to use the same company we used for that piece of crap list last time. That's for
Wait, you're better off having someone. I know, first of all, everyone says it's tough to reach people. It's tough to reach people, but it's not that tough to reach people, right?
Yeah.
And I say that because the glass is always half full, not half empty. And LinkedIn's been good, but if and I keep saying it, but if we in the print communication industries want to build better relations with our customers, we want to sell them more, we need to be doing for ourselves some of the stuff that we want to sell. I never understood how you could sell something that you haven't done on your own.
Right.
It just doesn't make sense to me. But I think that would be a good idea, and it lets people know that you're out there by doing more.
Yeah.
You know, have you guys done any video or what's your online presence?
You know what? That's on each of us, the reps. It's so funny. We had a sales meeting yesterday morning, and Leon was reminding me, I really want you guys to do your videos, make some short videos. So we've been posting more and more things on LinkedIn, and I've got some kind of funny ideas for some videos. I love that look of that video when someone's walking and talking, someone's walking back, and even a short 10, 12-second video. I just like that look. That that political season we had last year, a lot of the candidates pivoted to that kind of where they're walking and they're being interviewed. And I don't know, I like that. I'm thinking about doing that downstairs in the plant, maybe showing some die cutting or, how we're making a large piece of wall art or something like that. Some wide format printing. So
cool.
It's a good reminder about the videos because that's big now, obviously.
What's the average age in your company?
I don't want to tell you that.
Okay, so just with that response, maybe you want to ask some of the people in the company if they've got any younger kids that are into social media, and maybe have one of them come in and do a couple videos or help out, because all those kids are on the ball. So what I've learned from my kids is it's not even about what I think, right? Because I think I'm pretty cool, and I hang out with my kids, and I can go out with my kids, and I can stay out later than my kids, and I can outdrink my kids. And my kids say to me at the end of the day, "Hey, Dad, you're not as cool as you think." So,
well, it's very funny and ironic that you brought this up. So my youngest daughter, who's about to graduate from university, she's 22. We were just talking about it. We're about to do a new huge mural on one of our dock doors, which I'm a major street and by the train station. And she said, I've got some really cool ideas how we can leverage that new mural when you put it up. When I'm in town, she told me she's in town in a couple of weeks after it's up. We'll go down there. She's going to do some short videos for us. So along that thinking, my daughter's going to do it for me, to be honest.
Good. And the other thing is, to everyone listening, when you ask the people that work for you or you ask their kids to come in and help, what you're also doing is you're promoting our business to young people. It's been said and proven that the youngins are more into print, like to receive mail, like to receive stuff with their names on it, right? It's also been said that the Kindle sales are down, but paperback book, maybe not exactly the Kindle, but electronic and paperback books and other stuff is a little bit on the way up. Anything you want to leave us with before I send you walking and I go my way?
Well, I want to leave us with where you started. This pandemic, it's global. It hit all of us. No one's immune to it, and because of that, I have found for me, people can relate. You know what? Hey, I start almost everything. How's it going? How are you? How's your family? And I couldn't be more sincere about it because people have been impacted in so many different ways. I told you about my wife. She's a long hauler right now with some post-COVID symptoms. My youngest daughter got it. Nothing. I never got it. So I have found when you're sincere and you start that way, and then how can we help you? What can we do to help you with your business? It's, I've always felt I'm more of a casual sales pro, and it works even more now. And people appreciate that kind of honesty. And then of course, then the sales cycle starts. Then you build trust. And, then you can have a referral or a reference. And so, be genuine. This thing was real. We're not out of it. We started our meeting chat about this is not over. I believe we've turned the corner, but, we have to be careful. And I think knowing that we all have gone through it together, we're trying to do the same thing, come out of it alive and then succeed.
On that note, Tim, I'm going to thank you for coming on, and I appreciate the conversation.
It's a pleasure to be here with you. Yeah.
And you're welcome to come back anytime you want. Just try to find me. To everybody else listening, first of all, I just want to thank you all again for tuning in. I really, really do appreciate it. I have to tell you that I really, really appreciate the notes of encouragement that I get about some of the videos, and that people are appreciating what I have to say. I don't know if you could see it, but I get goosebumps every time I get something said. That's really, really nice, and I appreciate it. Keep watching my videos. Go to my YouTube channel, Warren Werbit, and please subscribe. Please be safe. Please be nice to everybody. Please treat everyone the way you want to be treated. Warren Werbit, I love print more every day, I think, from what they think.